For this episode, we joined Candyheart at Homestead Studios. We got into some of their recent changes, their new upcoming album, and some events coming up in their near future. We also got to record some tracks off the floor and get to hear some new upcoming tunes as well. So sit back, sip your poison, and enjoy the ride. I'm your host, Kalen, and this is the Pagan Place Podcast. Welcome to the podcast. Well, Goose, you've been on before talking about this same project. So a lot has obviously changed. Lots been going on. More people in front of me than last time. So
last time there was just one.
Yeah.
Right now we have 4 people. We were a 4-piece. We are now a 5-piece. But there was a swap in there.
Sonically, what's going on with you guys? You've got some music coming out that you're working on.
Right. I'm trying to figure out a way to be honest while still being delicate. Look, we're 5 weeks out, 4 weeks out now of the biggest thing at least a couple of us, 3 of us are ever going to do in our life musically. Like for me, I think this is the biggest show I'm ever going to play.
Absolutely.
And we kind of blew the whole thing up like 5-6 weeks out. I have to be a little bit delicate with it. And the reality is, feelings are hurt, and we're still trying to truck forward in spite of that.
We're going to.
Right.
Yep.
And yeah, I'll let you take it from there, actually.
Well, I mean, so you've got a lineup here today, and we've got a few more coming in. So
one more coming in.
On the microphones. Who do we have?
Right. So first we have the man who is replacing me on guitarist. We have Mike Emerson.
Hey.
Who is, you might know him from Southern Comfort, who is quite possibly the most successful cover band in town over the past decade. Directly in front of me, we have AJ Arsenal, original member, lead guitar. Also directly in front of me, Lauren Kirkpatrick on drums. And then coming in at some point in time, we have our new bass player, Sam Patterson, who is a phenomenal musician. And that's the lineup. We were a 4-piece, now we're a 5-piece, but we are 2 new members in that story.
So some growing pains.
Definitely some growing pains. I've said this a lot. I think that I feel like everything before now is kind of prologue, which is a strange thing to say when we're 2 weeks, 3 weeks from the major change, and yet we're fairly certain,
Yeah.
Oh, this is the path forward. We've got some big stuff coming up, and and I'll be honest, we're holding on by the skin of our teeth right now in terms of the timing. We have an album coming out in 3 weeks. We are still in the process of getting the masters. We have one final obstacle on a song that we're trying to get by. So we had to replace a lot of bass tracks. So here we are.
So with the new album coming out, sonically, what can people expect? Has the writing been a little bit different since you've had a bit of a change up? Like I know you said you kind of had to re-record some things.
Yeah. I mean, the writing is different in general. If anybody's familiar with the EP, like the song that people are most familiar with from us is probably Sick. And I would say that we're going in a different direction here. That's not to say we won't go back at some point. The album's a lot darker. Actually, I don't even think the band realizes how dark the album is going to be when it's pieced together with these 11 songs. Honestly, there's actually one song on this album that only 2 of us have heard the full version of, and that's me and Lauren, and that's the last song on it. It's a lot darker. I do think that there's a graduation musically, and that's not about the bass playing. That happened before then. We had to replace some of the bass tracks at the end. That definitely changed those songs sonically. The songs that we changed.
What's the process been for the songwriting for these tracks? Has it been sort of really like you kind of take turns bringing a thing to the group, being like, hey, I've got this great fucking lick that I want everybody to kind of build around? Or do you come with a set of lyrics, or do you just kind of sit there and jam out, and then all of a sudden you've got this great riff, and then you keep building off that? Like,
all of the above.
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah. Everything you just described, I can kind of attribute or place one song in that folder. There's a few that AJ brought to the table with the former bass player. Several were me and Lauren just hammering things to death in a room on nights when nobody else could make it. and just playing things dozens of times to try to make the drums and the guitar groove together. Because as you may have assumed from the fact that we have replaced me on guitar, I am not the greatest guitar player. So a lot of times getting those songs to fit together took a lot of work and just a lot of, let's try this, let's try that, and just keep pounding it until we heard something that we liked. And then that's where that grew, and we added other pieces after. And then there were pieces that started with the riff. People might be familiar with the song Is. It's been out as a single for a while. AJ brought that riff. And that was a strange one. It just kind of came together all at once.
So fast. It was crazy. It was awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just played the riff, and then all of a sudden he had a verse, and the chorus took a little bit of time because it slows it down. The bottom falls out, but that's kind of the stories of how they come together.
But Goose is a master of lyrics. Like, he's a genius when it comes to words. And, you know, if we get
I wouldn't take it that far, but
well, that's how I put it. And it comes out in his mannerism on stage.
There you
know, he comes right out. Like, he's presence. When he's in the room and he's singing, he gets people's attention.
So you said it's a little bit darker. What other kind of other differences from the EP other than sort of a darker tone, or?
Yeah, I mean, we have a song that it's only cello and a little bit of percussion. I guess there is a acoustic guitar somewhere in there. Yeah, the tone. A lot of the EP was tongue in cheek, kind of. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's layers to it, but that tongue in cheek vibe kind of disappears on the full length.
So your new lineup. Let's take a look at that for a sec. So obviously you have some new contributors to the group. How do you feel about coming in and bringing something new? Like you said, Goose is kind of stepping away from guitar. You're stepping in a little bit. How do you feel about kind of contributing to that change of the group?
Oh, I love it. I can't wait to see what comes up going forward, because we haven't written anything with me yet, but right. I'm busy learning all his parts, and a few other parts of my own. But I love working with the guys. When I heard the riff from Is, that's exactly like you guys were talking about. I was like, man, this is for me. I love this. So I really enjoy it, and mad respect to this guy, because a few weeks ago it was like, I don't know, we got to straighten this out, and we kind of tossed it all away, and then we brought it all back.
We really kind of just threw a stick of dynamite into it. And I mean, that's mainly me. Like, at the end of the day, I'm the guy that pulled that trigger. And, you know, I do feel guilty about it, because I mean, we had a guy who kind of worked his whole life to get to this moment, and I am the one that took that away. I think I had good reason to do it, and everything that's happened since makes me believe that it was the right decision. But bringing it back to Mike, the irony is Mike came into the band through the former bass player, but then Mike provided stability. Mike knows a lot of musicians, and he's willing to work all the time.
And he's a hell of a musician.
And
you know what I mean? Like,
thank you.
It's good math.
It provided the stability that we actually could throw the stick of dynamite into it and believe that we have a pretty good chance to still put this thing together in the 5-ish weeks that we had until the May 10th show. And so far so good. We're ahead of schedule on the live performance for sure.
And how do you feel about stepping in so close to
Well, I'm going to lay it right out there. Goose scared the shit out of me. As you can tell, Goose is always somber and straight-faced and everything, and I didn't know whether the guy liked me, hated me, or otherwise. So I did my best and went home the first night, and then the second night I came back for practice. He was a little more Goose, and then the third night, everything fell apart.
That is correct. That is the way.
And then he called a meeting the next day. We all sat down, and I had to say, wow, because he put his heart and soul into all these lyrics. All of us, you guys especially, because I just came in recently, but you guys poured your heart and soul in this. And he's like, it's not working. So it's that old, I keep referring to the saying, if it's meant to be, it'll come back. Toss it away, see what happens. He did, and it's come back. Yep. So, and we're carrying on, and we're going to do what we got to do.
Do you kind of feel a pressure with
yes.
coming in right when you came in, like right before an album release, right
yes.
before playing for the Trews?
Because also, Goose, every time I think I got something, he lets me know I don't have it right. I got to add one more piece or take one piece away.
I call bullshit because he's a pro. Right? He literally jumped right in, like, balls deep, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Legit.
No, all jokes aside, I love all he is, man, and I can't wait to see what comes of it. I haven't done a show yet. We've just been in totally rehearsal mode, so these shows coming up are really exciting to me. It's going to be fun.
So these biggest shows that we've ever done will also be the first shows with the new
people, yeah.
Right. But I mean, you're all kind of polished enough. You've all played in front of many people. It's not like, I think once you've got your groove on in here,
yeah.
If you guys feel it together, then
oh yeah. Absolutely.
You should be confident going out there and knowing that you'll be able to carry that out there.
It sounds great now, so I can't wait till 4 more weeks from now. It's going to be that much more tight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel you check into the new lights on your phone till my silver watch dreaming. You were dreaming too. You're not in love with me and I'm not in love with you, but I feel just like I'm dying. I keep it to myself, tell nobody else, and I don't know what to do because I know that you're not sleeping. I'm not sleeping either. You're crying in your bed. I can barely breathe, but I wish that I could call you. You can't call me either. I'm trying not to love you, but falling even deeper, deeper, deeper,
Kind of want to have you on before, Goose. We kind of talked about like where you fell into music. So let's just go through each of you. Like, Mike, where did you fall into music?
I started playing country music when I was 13 years old. Yeah. My dad threw out all my rock and roll tapes right over the bridge in the Harbor Bridge. No joke. He said, "You're going to learn country music," and I've been playing Johnny Cash ever since. I don't know how I got here, but I like this stuff too. I guess it must relate somehow.
Crazy.
Yep.
That's kind of forcing your hand.
It was back in the day. He played country, so I must play country. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
All right. And you were a guitar kid right from the get-go?
Right from the get-go, yeah.
So what about you, AJ?
Well, I started at 4 years old, so it's been I've picked a few strings, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Multi-instrumentalist from the time I was a young kid. I could pick up any instrument and make it work kind of thing, and but my main instrument through life was guitar.
Yeah.
And vocals I've been singing since I was that age, and I used to sing like Randy Travis, Ricky Skaggs, all that stuff.
There's my brother.
Well, that's why you fit in,
right? Yeah, that's why me and him click.
That's the linchpin.
Yeah.
So I grew up. Both of my parents are musicians as well. Mom's a singer. Dad was a fiddle player. We lost them 3 Februaries ago, but God rest his soul. He was one of my inspirations, and every time I'd sing a song, I'd either make them tear up or laugh, or you know what I mean. So it was a healthy part of my upbringing.
Right.
My parents were very musical, and I just took it from there. played a lot of classical guitar when I was a teenager, which turned into heavy metal music and everything, raunchy, from Slayer to Megadeth to you name it. And I was in my 20s, I was influenced a lot by blues. Stevie Ray Vaughan, from the time I was a young teenager, was one of my idols.
Yeah.
And then I kind of picked it up in my 20s. And so I use all of those influences in my playing, like blues and heavy, classical. So I try to use all the training to make work.
Right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
My parents, well, it was every weekend we'd have house parties and I was singing in front of rooms full of people.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think I did my first variety show with my back to the crowd, by the way. I could not sing for the life of me in front of people without, I feel that. Total, and it's kind of funny because when I watched
I read a book that said Jim Morrison did the same thing.
When I watched the Doors as a teenager, I was like, holy shit, I did that, But anyway, once I broke the wind of, being able to turn around and breathe and sing and perform, and, once the cheering started, it kind of got me hooked,
Yeah.
So I spent my youth literally in the bedroom with my guitar and my boombox ghetto blaster, petting Henry Beers or fast forward and all these things, try to get the licks down. But that's pretty much my story, and I did it for decades.
Yeah, and here you are.
Yes, sir.
What about you, Lauren?
I feel like I started playing when I was around 15 or 16, and then kind of like hardcore punk and shit like that. And then probably by the time I was 18, then started touring and doing stuff like that, but came up mostly with like punk rock and shit like that.
Yeah.
To be honest, yeah. And then got into a lot of different genres as I went,
Right.
But yeah, pretty much just punk rock. That's where I come from. And I think 15, 16 is probably when it really started.
And so some of you do have other projects as well. Like, yes. I know you've got Chic, you've got this. Anything else?
Chic, and right now a few things starting, but nothing official yet.
Well, something to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely.
And you guys have Southern Comfort.
Southern Comfort, yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel do you guys have any other projects on the go, like, that you can speak of?
Nah, just real job.
We all occasionally do, open mics and stuff like that. And I do have a solo show that I do perform and stuff like that. But it's been a minute, I've been quite busy with this project. So yeah, but every now and then I'll get asked to appear somewhere and play 5 or 6 songs or whatever. I play a lot with Joyce Boone, who's a local talent here. She's in the Country Music Hall of Fame and stuff like that. So I back her up, and she backs me the same thing. There's a lot of events that I'll show up and pick and grin a little bit.
So with doing other projects, and might be a little trickier for you to answer because you haven't really written with the guys yet, but definitely feel free to answer. Do you feel your other projects at all kind of contribute to what you have going on here?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like everything's an inspiration.
100%.
Everything
keeps it fluid. It keeps you the musical inspiration going.
As far as me, I haven't wrote with the boys, but like he said, the stability comes with being in cover bands and losing a player every other week. And Goose says, I don't know what I'm gonna. I said, this is just a Tuesday afternoon in my books, buddy. I said, hold on, we'll find somebody to do something. Like we're not lost yet. So that's where my chipped in with that point.
Yeah. So you feel you face maybe a little more than regular adversity in the loss of members.
It was
6 days in.
It was death and resurrection all in a 2 to 3 day period.
Yeah.
So it's kind of ironic I said that on Easter, but it's a real thing,
Yeah.
And speaking of irony, they told me I had to commit, and I committed, and the whole band fell apart 6 days after I started. Come on now, help me out.
Do you feel like there's a lot of pressure because of the show that's coming up, or because of the album release, or is it just like the recording of everything and trying to get things done in time? Is it a combination of everything?
All of the above.
Probably just the magnitude of the shows. And I mean, it's not like it's all relative. It's not like they're massive if you're some band that's been touring forever. But like I said, I'm very aware this might be the biggest show I ever play in my life. That's not to say it's not a little bit
scary.
And honestly, I look at it like,
do you think maybe that something like this will make you stronger? Because sometimes you just have to take something apart and put it back together for it to...
Oh, absolutely. Like, I gained focus through this thing in the past just few weeks. It was just like an awakening.
Right.
It just gave me more time to really tune in and view it from the deep, and just concentrate. But music always came naturally. But now it's a profession.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different. It's not a hobby no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we are professionals, and I want to be heard. The time is now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you guys want to push after this? Like, once you get through this, it's a big thing that's about to happen for you guys. So after you get through this, on the other side of it, what do you want to see? Or are you just going to take time to sit back and just be like, enjoy it, and then...
If this is the beginning, I can't wait for the ride.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if this is as slow as it's going to be, I can't wait.
I've got half an album of new songs in my back pocket ready to go. So, you know.
This is as slow as it's going to be. This is, you know, we're planning to play a lot this summer, we hope. And then that's starting to come together now. We don't really want to release the dates just yet, but we have stuff that's on the way after these two shows. Mainly, like if you write music, you do want to be heard. That's the reality of it. Because I say all the time, my goal is to come up with a catalog of music that I think is good. And that's why sometimes these big shows don't mean as much to me as they might mean to other people. Because it's not that they don't mean anything to me, they do. But underneath all of that, I just want the music to be good, and I want to be able to look back on it. But you also want that music to be heard and to other people to like it. And, you know, and there's the really pretentious stuff you're hoping you can have an effect on somebody or whatever. And that's all true. And a lot of times the shows and the things that you do for attention is trying to create that connection, to draw eyes to the music so that hopefully people will like it. And so I think after these big shows and the shows that we have coming, it really is about that, about just trying to say, hey, look, we made this thing and now we're playing it and we think it's good. That's the plan, and we'll see how closely we can stick to it.
The shows are the reward.
Yeah.
To me, the shows are the reward for all the hard work we put in. Because if we get up there and make an impact and it's as good as we think it is, and everybody else receives it half as well as we do, I think we'll be all right.
What's something positive you think has come out of all of this?
Sam, who's not here yet.
The late guy.
Sam came to the band through Mike. Sam now plays bass. I mean, I had a little moment with Sam when the first day I met him, which is maybe 3 weeks ago now. And what was interesting is he'd heard the songs, and so I was explaining, you know, how things in the songs worked, things that are, again, kind of a little pretentious, and it's like, these are the ideas that I had going in, this is what I'm trying to do, but you don't really know if people are getting that from it, and you kind of think most people aren't. You're just, you know, you are the imposter trying to make something out of these songs that make them layered and a little more than just rock songs. But Sam actually got that. And I knew, like, he understands these songs the way that I do. And so we were able to speak on this level that was interesting to me, because it felt like I've been talking this language my whole life, and this guy comes along and he actually understands what I'm saying. And so we did have this moment in this room where we had this kind of connection. And since then, just, I mean, my God, the guy can play a bass. And I've never heard him play guitar other than in videos, but I've heard he's one of the better guitar players in town too. Yeah. So he's been a huge asset to have. He's come in and on literally days worth of notice, learned and performed bass tracks that will end up on the album.
And charted the bass lines like the next day on paper. Like, come on, that's total pro. Like, it's wild. It's amazing, quite honestly.
He had the songs learned, ready to go, written in paper in 48 hours.
Yeah, charted.
Yeah.
Like,
and now he's here showing me, you should play this with me and this with me. Like, the man's a machine. He hears, like Goose said, he hears things the way kind of Goose does, and he can already see the finished product before it's half done. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't even have the songs for 2 days. He calls me, he says, Goose has got these songs all going together. They're all a piece of a puzzle, aren't they? And I said, how did you have any idea? I didn't even know that yet. And I've been here for weeks. But yeah, he caught right on.
Kind of on the flip side of that, what's one of the biggest points of trepidation that you guys are going through right now or feel? Like, is it just the build up to what's going to happen, or is it
probably just the nerves associated with, you know, there have been some slight delays and everything, and we didn't really have a lot of time to play with. Like I said, we're still waiting on masters because we changed some bass tracks. And Not all of the bass tracks are changed, but the ones that hadn't been released yet. Some of the albums already out there as singles, but the ones that were unreleased, we changed the bass on, as per request.
Yeah.
And so that's led to some delay. So now we're in a bit of a time crunch, and especially for someone like me who, and I think Mike is like this too, where we've always got plan B and plan C in our pocket, and we're really not going into anything unless we're ready for it to fail.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at this and thinking, if this fails, May 10th is the day, and I can't stop time.
Nope.
So
it waits for no one.
What about you guys? Do you guys all feel the same kind of?
I know I do.
Yeah,
I feel it.
Yeah.
Quite honest, like our live show, our performances have been, in my mind, a blast. And I want to maintain that same feeling on stage. The energy, the high energy, the sweat and tears. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a damn good time, and I can't wait. Quite honest, to be with my new brothers in arms.
Yeah.
So
I just feel I'm sometimes behind the 8 ball because these guys have been doing this for well over a year now, and I'm 6 weeks in, and I'm still trying to catch up on a few things, but I'm going to get there. That's my goal.
Luckily, none of the guitar I played was overly complex.
Nothing. No, it's more the harmonies. Yeah, the guitar was kind of easy, but the guitar and pick out the harmonies at the same time and try to be lively on stage and have fun. And there's a lot of work I got to do.
My God, I wish that I could bend the world to my will. My God, I wish that I could melt, and I wish I could kill. I wish that I could fit my soul inside of a pill and feed it to you till you worship me just like your God. Another morning, a morning older. I'm dying slowly, but I'm still sober. I never managed to stop breathing, despite trying every single weekend. I fell in love and got broken hearted, and now the poison spread from where it started. Like cancer without treatment, like poison. My God, I wish that I could bend the world to my will. My God, I wish that I could melt, and I wish I could kill. I wish that I could fit my soul inside of a pill and feed it to you till you worship me just like your God. Another morning older. I never managed to stop breathing, despite trying every single weekend. I fell in love and got broken hearted. I got poison. My God, I wish that I could bend the world to my will. My God, I wish that I could melt, and I wish I could kill. I wish that I could fit my soul inside of a pill and feed it to you till you worship me just like your God.
Welcome back to the Pagan place. Here, let me top up that poison for you. No, you keep the tip. All we need is a little like and share. That'll do just fine. there you go. Have a good day.
Where you are a newer guy into the group, do you feel like you said you were trying to catch up, but are you also kind of looking at ways, maybe not for this record, but for going forward, that, oh, I can kind of contribute here, or there's something I can add here, or...
We were just talking about that the other day. I said to Goose, when are we going to get writing? Because, like I said, these guys have already done all this. This is their... And I'm coming in to help play the live shows and stuff like that, but I can't wait to sink my teeth into a part of a new album or a new song, or...
Right.
Just, I can't wait to add anything that I possibly can. And AJ and I work together, and we can play off of each other and bounce ideas. And Sam, being a good guitar player, he can bounce off all three of us, and I'm sure it's going to be...
I would say we've already seen some spots where Mike has thrown in his own take on the guitar that I'd had that's vastly improved. I can actually think of 4 or 5 things just kind of off the top of my head where he's doing things above and beyond what I was capable of doing. And so... there's something to be said for chemistry, which I think we always had, and I think we still have. But there's also something to be said for musicianship, where again he's well above where I was as a guitar player. I could write songs on a guitar, and I always in this band sort of played guitar just for the sheer practical benefits of being a 4-piece, and we needed somebody to add that extra guitar just to add to the rhythm. I'm definitely a better singer without a guitar in my hand. That was a big factor in the decision to add a guitar player. And so here we are, and I do believe that Mike is bringing a lot to the table that I was just not capable of as a player.
Do you think it's going to feel a little different live without a guitar in your hand?
Yeah, I'm actually a little nervous about it.
Yeah.
Because I was in previous bands where I didn't have a guitar in my hand, and it's a bit of a different performance. And then when the guitar is in your hand, you get it's like a leash, but at the same time, it's also a prop. You can use it. You can hide behind it a little bit.
That's what I do every day.
and getting back to a place where I'm not hiding behind that guitar, not hiding behind the idea that I'm on that leash is a little nervous about that. But at the end of the day, again, I've noticed vocally, I've never been the most coordinated person. So playing and singing at the same time was not my strong suit. Playing in general is not my strong suit, but then it was also affecting the vocal a little bit. Not enough. I don't think anybody would have noticed, but I notice, and I can feel it in my throat how much more free I am to just make decisions on the fly and not be trapped by coming down on the same beat as the guitarist, things like that.
Right. Do you feel maybe that, well, obviously with the change up, more instrumentalists involved, but do you feel not having a guitar in your hand is going to change up the writing?
I don't see I don't see ever not having a guitar in my hand for the writing portion. I'm not a good player, but I'm pretty good with progressions, and I'm pretty good with melody, and I'm good with song structure is probably my actual strength. So, even if it's something that I'm never going to perform, sometimes I can help push other people along a little bit. I think I don't picture myself just kind of watching the musical process move along and just adding lyrics at the end. I think I'll always be part of the
bring
music.
in the musical part, or bring in the riff, and we take it from there, kind of thing.
And I only had a few weeks, so he literally put on his guitar, and I watched him play and followed him so I could learn quicker rather than studying and listening over and over and over again. Right in live situations, he was just playing and saying, "Watch me." So it gave me a great help.
Is there anything going on this summer that you can mention? Or are you going to keep it under your hat for a little bit longer?
We're going to be in Charlottetown. We're going to be in Charlottetown in July 4th. If any Charlottetown bands happen to be listening to this, get in touch with us. We need a couple of you. But yeah, that's probably the one thing I can mention.
In May 10th.
You can't mention May 10th?
Well, but yeah. Oh, I thought he meant after.
No.
Oh, and May 10th, we are doing the album release at the St. John Trade and Convention Center. And that will be in support of the Peppers of Funk, who, if you happen to be a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan, come see them and then see us accidentally and like us.
Hell yeah.
Great promo. That was awesome.
And then May 17th at Container Village with Trues. That thing's going to sell itself. If you haven't got tickets yet, well,
Fuck yeah.
I don't know.
You
It
better
might be
hurry
sold
up.
out, but that's not us. That's the truth. But yeah, we want to see people at everything. Then our hope is to move more into video as we go. You know, recording's going to be done for a little while. So now it's time to try to see what we can do with video. And that'll be our main output over the summer and fall and winter other than live shows.
Well, you're kind of going into like Area 506 this year. Do you think you want to use that kind of as a springboard to get into other festivals, other events next year? Like,
Absolutely.
Because
It's going to look good on the resume.
Oh, absolutely, it would.
Absolutely.
Any,
Assuming it's not a train wreck.
Yeah. It won't be.
It could be the end of the band, let's be honest.
And when is it we're at Ribfest? We can announce that too.
Ribfest is June 15th. We'll be there.
Yep. Closing the night that night.
Sweet. Where is Ribfest this year? Is it going
It's going to be back at the exhibition park.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. I do love Ribfest.
Oh, yeah. Good eats and great music.
Are there any festivals that you want to eventually try to get to? Like, looking right across New Brunswick Maritimes.
I'm going to be honest. I don't even know what the festivals are.
I've been around with Southern Comfort. I've done quite a few festivals around the province, and the 506 one with the Trues is probably going to trump most of those. I mean, we're going right into probably the coolest gig we've all ever done. So anything else is going to be a gravy after that, right? So it's just a matter of where we're going to end up after that, but it's going to be fun no matter what.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And there's tons of festivals. Like, there's no doubt you'll be able to
I'm
get
sure
in some bills.
Yeah, I'm sure that somebody will be on that. Mike's wife, Mel, has been great at booking us. She's in the room right now taking video for anybody who might want to check into our socials later to see what this looks like.
Yeah, none of us are good with social media, and she never gets off her phone, so
yeah,
perfect job.
Is there any points that you guys want to get into, or anything that I might not have asked about or gotten into?
One thing, just adding Mike and how major that was as a turning point for the band. Like, you know, I say this a lot, and I won't get into details, but I really do believe it saved the band. But I also want to mention that it was a team thing. Like, it was also bringing Mel in, that she's been huge and incredibly valuable, and just having them as a team has, it's opened us up to, oh wow, we really might be able to take this to a different level. So that's the hope, but I'm very grateful. And I can't believe how hard they're willing to work. Because I've always been that guy. I'm just willing to go nonstop 100 miles an hour.
That's why I think we get along so well, because we both have that crazy fire behind us, and it just never goes out, so you're always running, like just always going.
And I mean, neither of you are strangers to pumping out the hours for music.
No.
I've seen Southern Comfort a number of times, and I've seen your names on lots of bills, so you pump it in.
We really do, yeah.
And so that obviously carries over, like you were saying, into what's the energy that you're putting in. Mm-hmm. It probably goes without saying, but you guys obviously feel that too, like that.
Oh yeah,
that
for
energy,
sure.
or
For sure.
hopefully I didn't stir it.
Well, just
That's Lauren's favorite line. I love this energy. I love this energy. That's all they keep saying.
but just the amount of work that we're doing right now. I mean, again, we blew the band up, but then all of a sudden, it took me a second to catch my breath, because everybody was running 150 miles an hour quick. And, and it took me a couple of days, and then I got up to speed too. Yeah, just the amount of effort that goes in. And I've always been big on that as a band, that I really think I think talent is a smaller part of the equation than work ethic. And like I said, a lot of these songs came out of me and Lauren kind of just pounding them to death, and that there were a lot of monotonous hours in there. And that's what I mean by work ethic over talent. It's not like they just came magically. It was, this is 80% there, this is 82% there, this is 85% there, now we're back to 75. And then eventually we got to the point where the structure of what the songs are on the album, which we hope comes out on time.
It will.
Well, let me ask you then. How do you feel the transition into an ongoing project has been?
Well, I've never had it any other way. Everything I've done in my adult life has been a transition into some kind of ongoing thing. And it's great. I was called to help out with these 2 shows coming up in May. And I said, sure, I'd love to do that. And then once I learned a few of the songs, one thing that I would say about the guy's songwriting is there's no filler. Everything is meaningful, and every song should be heard by an audience. So it's been all gravy on my end.
And do you feel going forward, like kind of ask these other guys as well, like as far as contributing factors, do you feel like maybe after this album release, writing for the next one, you've already got kind of ideas of contributions you can lay down?
100%. So I've already written some of my own parts. Some parts had to be removed and some parts had to be created. So I've already done that. And I'm always writing rock riffs on my guitar or my bass, and they go to the iPhone for safekeeping. And so, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff ready to be shared, I guess. The bank's already full when it comes to riffs and ideas and stuff. I've become a bit of a zero on lyrics. I always was, so I'll never get in anybody's face over lyrics. For me, lyrics were always the necessary evil to finish a song, right? It's not my forte. So I'm all about the riffs and the musical vision, I guess. So yeah, I hope to be part of the creating process for sure.
So just to kind of bring it into a close, where I know you guys are kind of a pressure cooker right now, I like to end the podcast on getting a bit of advice for other people. If there's any advice that any of you have for either an upcoming musician or current musician who's in a project, what's just one brief bit of advice that you'd have for some folks like that?
I would say grind, and love it.
Yeah.
Don't ever stop. I mean, why start something you're not going to finish? You know, the human thing is to succeed. The human thing is to stand tall, pick up an instrument and stand even taller, you know.
Right. And just like this band, if it's meant to be, drive it. Just go all the way. And like I said, we tossed it, it came back, and it's just like a boomerang. We're going to go again. Let's just keep going.
I'm going to be a bit of devil's advocate on that one. You got to love it. And if you're not in it for the right reasons, unless you love the actual process of doing it, go do something else.
Yeah.
You got to love the process of doing it. Don't just love the stage. Love making the music, love the work that gets you to that stage. And if you don't, then there are easier things to do, and there are easier things that will get you the same payoff as that stage does. That's gone in a second, and then you're back in the room writing songs the next day. So that's the part that you've got to love.
Trying to do better than you did before.
Right. Yeah. If you got to love the type of music you're making. I mean, all of it, your heart's got to be in it. And if it's not, there are just easier things to do, and there are other places to put your heart. So go for that, because the attention is very fleeting.
And remain humble. You got to be humble. If you're not humble in life, and if you let egos get the best of you, doors will close on you. They will not open, So if you remain humble and nice and accepting to situations and work hard and shake hands and don't make enemies, music will prevail. It's powerful.
I would second what Goose said. So this is for younger musicians. I've noticed that the younger generation seems to they know the value of money more than, say, my generation, and there's not a lot of money in music. I mean, there is at the top levels, but you have to love this, and you can't expect to be paid for every second, or it just doesn't work that way. So yeah.
the payoff has to be in doing it. Otherwise you're going to be disappointed.
The shows and the fun is the stage is always the reward. It's the hard work that gets you to that one stage that you want.
Well, thanks for having me in over here. And
thank you for coming.
I really appreciate.
Thank you for making the drive.
No problem.
From a new location.
I do appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me, and we're gonna hear some music here shortly, which will be played over the podcast. So may as well get to that. Thanks again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I got a problem and it's serious. Seems like my brain's been taken over by something. Part of my problems everybody's does. I think I'm dying and I think I'm contagious. Yeah!
Hey, this is Mike Weir. Thanks for joining the Pagan Place podcast. We're all richer for having tuned in today.